Okay, so we are now in the lab in Chimera. We've been here for about a good 4 hours trying to prep our cells to that we've been growing over the weekend, which you actually guys saw us, I think, prepare. But we've been waiting for them to be ready to be lifted so that we can aliquot them into separate tubes and then use them amongst all of our lab mates inside of our biomed setup. As you can see, we have everything set up so that we could actually plate these and then practice our technique to see how consistent we can be with each. Well, basically in a microplate, what we do is we take our cancer cells and micropipette them out into each separate well, into about, I think it's about 10 rows of 5, and we let them incubate and grow over the weekend or a day or whatever, and then we would check them into a micro plate breeder and then see how accurate and consistent all of the cancer cells have been growing, because everything in the well should be exactly the same. And basically we're doing this technique to make sure that that when we actually use our extracts, that the variance between them and that our techniques are very solid so that we can trust our results. I think right now the best person that's ever done this had a 2% variance and everything. Dr. McCarthy says that a 10%, anything under 10% is fantastic, but we'll see if we can beat that. Right now, like I said, we've been waiting for our cells to actually be lifted, because when cancer cells grow in a flask, we check them inside these microscopes, but anything that we actually want to use is stuck to the bottom of the flask. We use I keep wanting to say tryptomycin or tryptophan, but we use tryptin, which is an enzyme, to actually lift the cells off the flask and then continue on. But usually that takes only about 15 to 30 minutes, but it's been about a good hour. And then prepping each individual hood has been a task on its own. We're also getting Daniel over here to set up another aspirator, which takes out our bad media and all the things we don't want. So, looks like Jackie will have the living soon, and that means that I have to take over and actually getting the cells ready to count. So, yeah. Here's a quick shot of everyone else inside this lab. Yeah. So you're joining me after the last time, which was a look at us getting ready to prep to plate cancer cells. However, we never actually got to it. Cells were not behaving well at all. I just turned on another light. Cells weren't behaving well at all, so basically after we tried to count them, they were at a very low count. Typically when we're counting on the hematometer, I think that's what it's called, you want about at least 25 to make sure that it is a solid count. However, we're only getting around 15 to 16. So instead, what we did to prepare for not so much Wednesday anymore, but for Friday, is we redistributed what was left of the media and cells that we had, which was about 6 milliliters. Luckily, there's 6 people in our lab. So we took 5 mini flasks, and we then put in each flask 4 milliliters of fresh media for our cells, which we made on Monday. And then for each of those flasks, took 1 milliliter of the cancer cells, the MDA MB231s, and put a milliliter in each one of those flasks so that they can regrow, basically. Dr. McCarthy says that the cells should basically attach to the bottom of the flasks all over again after being tryptonized already by Wednesday, and then they'll have, from today till Friday to regrow. Hopefully by then they'll behave a lot better, and and then we'll actually be able to plate our microplates so that we can check our technique. Other than that, trying to figure out what my thoughts of the day basically would be. Thoughts of the day is that, just because you have a set plan on something, just with any situation, even in research,